As expected, areas notorious for flooding in Cranston flooded in this basement in Dean Estates here in Cranston. That's an apartment complex on Oak Lawn Avenue.
And this is just one of many flooded basements across the area today. 12 News reporter GINA MARINI is in South Kingstown, where she spoke with a homeowner who says the flooding in his basement wouldn't have been as bad if the town had properly maintained its retention pond.
The homeowner tells me the retention pond on the road from his house used to drain, but it doesn't anymore. He says that, along with the heavy rain, is what led to his basement flooding. This is rainwater rushing into the home of Barry Gee. His basement under about 3 feet of water this morning.
And everything was floating, so the furnace, everything is, whatever's down there that's in the water is gone.
Gee tells me he's lived here for more than 30 years and says his home wouldn't have flooded if this retention pond was properly maintained.
Really, if it was maintained, I'm not going to say I would never have any water, but I wouldn't have a water issue like this.
But the interim town manager, Terry Murphy, says the retention pond is maintained monthly.
The retention pond isn't designed to withstand that type of deluge, so there's going to be overflow.
Murphy says she's spoken to Gee and plans to take another look at the retention pond. Gee says his next step is to call his insurance company and put in a claim. If you're dealing with flood damage, I'll have information from AAA. That's new at 6. In South Kingstown, GINA MARINI, 12 News.
Well, lots of people are dealing with flooded basements from the deluge we got overnight.
12 News reporter GINA MARINI spoke with AAA about flood insurance and what you can do if you don't have any.
We live in southern New England, many close by the water, but you'd be surprised to learn just how many people have flood insurance. This is rainwater rushing into the home of Barry Gee. His basement under about 3 feet of water this morning.
And everything was floating, so the furnace, everything is, whatever's down there that's in the water is gone.
Gee doesn't have flood insurance.
Here in Rhode Island, only about 3% of homeowners or tenants buy flood insurance.
AAA says that's partly because people haven't had a flood, but also flood premiums in areas prone to flooding are high.
And for some people, it's a few $100s. For some, it can be quite a few $1,000s, and that's every year.
AAA says renters can also purchase flood insurance.
Flood insurance will give you some coverage for your structure, for your contents.
AAA says a common policy is the National Flood Insurance Program, but says there are rules surrounding basements and doesn't recommend finishing them, especially if you've had water issues in the past. AAA says you can call your insurance provider to see what kind of coverage you do have, and you can try to put in a claim that way. In South Kingstown, GINA MARINI, 12 News.